श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोधरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्याः पारिषद्याः परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म यदा आदिकवये तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजोवारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैकवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां ततां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Now with Bhagavan's anugraham we came up to slokam number 14 in Adhyayam 9, Skandham number 4. Now we will take up slokam 15. We are partaking the Dhruva Stuti. And Dhruva, the 5-year-old boy, little boy, describes Bhagavan, his experiences, and so the Viswarupa Darshanam, how he sees Bhagavan everywhere, how he sees him inside, outside, everything he sees. So he describes that. And he says, Namaskaram to you. And now 15. In 15, he says, Swami, you are absolutely unattached, absolutely pure, and the embodiment of jnanam, knowledge itself, and pervasive everywhere, where you are not. Everywhere you are present, and you are firmly established, unshakably established, eternal, always there, and you are the Adi Purusha, and Sarvajna, and you are the one who controls the three gunangal and the maya that is composed of the three gunangal, because when all the beings think something in their mind, whatever they understand, whatever they imagine, and all that without even the slightest obstruction, you yourself know immediately. And also, when all the human beings, they all perform yagangal for the benefit and the welfare of the whole world, of all beings, those sacred rituals and actions and all that, the Devam that they worship you as Vishnu, and at that time you appear as if you are different from them. And this is how, Swami, you are manifesting yourself, is what he says. Tvam nitya mukta parisuddha vibhuddha atma kutastha adi purusha bhagavan trayadhisaha yat buddhi avastitam akantitaya swadrishtya drishta ita vadhimako vyatirikta asse. Tvam nitya mukta parisuddha vibhuddha atma kutastha adi purusha bhagavan trayadhisaha yad buddhi avastitam akantitaya swadrishtya drishta pitau adhimakaha vyatirikta aste. பதங்கள் ஸ்வம் நித்திய முக்த பரிசுத்த விபுத்த ஆத்மா கூட்டஸ்தः ஆதி புருஷः பகவான் த்ரயத் ஈசः யத் புத்தி அவஸ்திதம் அகண்டிதயா ஸ்வத்ருஷ்ட்யா திரஷ்டா ஸ்திதௌ அதிமகः व्यतिरिक्त आस्ते. त्वं नित्य मुक्त परिशुद्ध विबुद्ध आत्मा. त्वं नित्यः. You are nitya muktah. Nitya also is eternal, always there. And tvam muktah. You are absolutely free, no bondage. Tvam parisuddha. Purity itself, sacred. We say pavitram, parisuddha. Tvam vibuddha. You are knowledge itself. And tvam atma, one who is indwelling and pervading, not only indwelling, pervading everything. Tvam kutastha. You are stable, always there, changeless. There is always there, Bhagavan. Kutastha. From Adi Purusha, you are the Moola of Adi Purusha, and from Bhagavan. Not only you are Sarvajna, not only the repository of all the resources, but also the most effulgent one. Bha means bhakti. Ga means jnanam. And Va is the effulgence. Bhagavan is nothing but effulgence. And Bhagavan and Trayad Isaha, also Isa, the Lord, the master of the three Gunangal, which is the Maya, is composed of that. So Tvam Nityamukta Parisuddha Vibuddha Atma Kutastaha Adipurushaha Bhagavan Trayad Isaha. Yet, why? Because Buddhi Avastitam. See, when somebody is thinking something in their mind, I don't know that. You don't know what I'm thinking. But the interesting thing is, the moment a thought occurs to me, the moment I understand something, the moment I imagine something, the moment I desire something, Bhagavan knows it immediately, instantly. And it's amazing. Simultaneously he knows. So he's present within. And this, I myself, with His grace, I've experienced this a few times. And it's amazing that how divinity really is. And so he is Buddhi Avastitam Akandidaya Padrishtya Drashta. I didn't see the full sentence. Buddhi Avastitam, the experiences in the mind. Okay. whatever I understand, whatever I imagine, whatever I think, whatever I desire, whatever, all the antakaranangal, buddhi avasthitam, akhandidaya, without obstruction, immediately, instantly, swadrishtya drashta, swadrishtya, with your own presence, with your own drishti, you see all that. Bhagavan is seeing, he is an eternal witness. He is always seeing. Swadrishtya drashta. That is the full sentence. Yet, buddhi avasthitam akhanditaya swadrishtya drashtva swami. And Sitau, in the matter of protecting and nourishing all the beings in all the worlds, including the plants, the animals, and the human beings and everything, Sitau. So, samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu, in order for that, adhimakaha, makam means yagam, yajnangal. So, adhimakaha, when various yagangal are being performed, at that time, what is the yajnam, who is the yajna purusha? Who is the, where is the now, where is it all offered to, all the sacrifices in the yajnangal? That purusha is Vishnu. That person who is being worshipped, the yajna purusha. That is what you are. Vyatiriktaha. So you appear different from everybody and you appear as if you are separate. Aste. This is how Swami you are. He says, Bhagavan, you are like this. Tvam nityamukta parisuddha vibuddha atma kutastaha adipurushaha Bhagavan trayat isaha yat buddhi avasthitam akhanditaya swadrishtya drashta sitau adhimakaha yatirikta aste. Slokam 16. Now, Parabrahman is present everywhere in everything, but the whole prapancham seems to be a mixture of opposites. One, it seems to be opposite of another. Night is opposite of day, for example. Knowledge is opposite of ignorance, isn't it? And so everything you see, it's a mixture. So that's very important. So in that way, we do the knowledge, ignorance, many things, and how we execute, how we employ our skills, and whether it is removing ignorance, for example, strengthening one's knowledge, removing selfishness and selflessness, both are present. So, in working continuously in this interplay of the apparent opposites, the causal purusha, the cause, the original cause, which is really limitless, beginningless, endless, and the very first one, and that is always blissful, only bliss, that changeless bliss, which is the very first one, not always present, it's always present, but in this prapancham, it appears as if they're all apparent opposites and differences, one contradicting another, and ignorance and knowledge is on one side, strength is on one side, weakness is on another side, selfishness is there, selflessness is there, and love is present very much, but lack of love is also present, like in the behavior I'm talking about, we call bad and good in everything, right? So, and sukham, dukkham, whatever you want to call it, and all these, the causal, the very first one is you, Swami, and you are nothing but bliss, changeless bliss, and that Parabrahman is what I experience you, I know from my experience, and I surrender to you, prapadye, he says. Yasmin viruddha gatayaha hi anisham patanti vidyadayaha vivida shaktayaha anupurvyat tad brahma visvabhavam ekam anantam abhyam anandamatram avikaram aham prapadye yasmin aham prapadye. Yasmin, विरुद्धगतयः हि अनिशं पतन्ति विद्यादयः विविधशक्तयः आनुपूर्व्यात् तत् ब्रह्म विश्वभवम् एकम् अनन्तम् आद्यम् आनन्दमात्रम् अविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये यस्मिन् वृद्धगतयः विद्यादयः विविधशक्तयः आनुपूर्व्यात् अनिशं पतन्ति. The full sentence we will take the way we can understand in our English language. Yasmin vruddha-gatayah vidyadayah vividha-shaktayah anupurvyat anisham patanti. In which Parabrahmam, Yasmin, in whom all these apparently contradictory, opposing things exist, like knowledge and ignorance. Vidya, adayaha, knowledge and also ignorance. Vividha shaktayaha, and in various things that happen like knowledge and ignorance, in employing that also, in using that also, there is strength involved. That is Vividha shaktayaha, various powers and various shaktis are present in that. Anupurvyatu means continuously. Anisham padanti means continuously they are being manifested. Now what appears and disappears. Today I may be ignorant, tomorrow I may become knowledgeable. Then after that I become ignorant again, right? Because there is the word, I may do something good today and tomorrow I may do something bad. So these things, they keep on going in a cycle, in some kind of an endless cycle, but continuously they happen. The whole prapanjam, our life and everything is continuum. There is no break. So there is it's all one continuum only. So that is Anupurvyatu. Then Anisam Patanti. That Yasmin, in which Parabrahmam, in whom all these are continuously happening and appearing like this, in whom. So Yasmin means in that Parabrahmam, in whom Vruddha Gatayaha, the opposing appearances, so to speak, or with opposing impulses, whatever you want to call it. Vidya, Adayaha, knowledge and ignorance. Vividha, Shaktayaha, with corresponding Shakti, the power, the energy to execute, to use them. Not only opposing things happen, people use energy to further their ignorance also, isn't it? And people use their energy to further their selfishness also, right? At the same time, people use their energy and power to further their knowledge and selflessness also, right? Everything, all these things are taking place. So, Vividha Satyaha, Anupurvyat Anisam Patanti, continuously when they appear, in whom all these are continuously appearing. That Vishwabhavam, the causal, or the cause for everything, Anantam, limitless, endless, eternal, infinite, Adhyam, the very first one, Anandamatram, blissful, Paramanandam, Atmanandam, Nityanandam, we say all those phrases. But Anandamatram, only bliss, there is nothing else. That bliss. And Adhikaram, changeless, there is no change. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnam, Purnamudachyate. We know that the teaching from Upanishad. There is no change at all. The prema, the bliss is such that you take from it, it doesn't decrease. You add to it, it doesn't increase. And it doesn't undergo any change at all. It always remains full. And so, that avikaram, that tat, that param brahman, aham prapadye, I surrender to, I worship. Yasmin vruddhakatayah, vidyadayah, vividha shaktayah, anupurvyat, anisam patanti, in whom all this apparently, seemingly opposing impulses and and appearances take place corresponding along with their sources of energy. Okay, in utilizing these opposing forces also. That's why dharma, adharma, right? We say like that. Bhagavan is beyond both, actually. And so everything takes place continuously, in whom all this happens, all these appearances and disappearances, one opposing another, etc., etc. That the causal, eternal, endless, limitless, the Adi-Purushan, the blissful Adi-Purushan, changeless, to him I surrender, aham prapadye. Yasmin viruddha gatayaha hi anisham patanti vidyadayo vivida shaktaya anupuryat tad brahma visvabhavam ekam anantamadhyam. The Brahma, of course, you know the meaning of Brahma. I didn't translate that. Tat Brahma, that most expansive, that Brahman, that Bhagavan. To him I surrender. Tat Brahma Visvabhavam Ekam Anantamadhyam Anandamatram Vikaram Anandamatram Avikaram Aham Prapadye. Number 17. The Bhagavan, the end goal, the final home for everybody is your lotus feet. And the person that worships your lotus feet, which is the final place, the final goal, the home, so to speak. And for that person, worshipping your lotus feet is superior and more beneficial than all other benefits and rewards that can be attained through various other means, whether in the earth, in the Dihalokam, in this world, or doing rituals or whatever. But worshipping your lotus feet is supreme. That is the best. But when it is like that, and when people don't even worship your lotus feet, then that is the most beneficial. But you are nothing but Karuna Sadara, Daya Sadara, and with Bhakta Parayanaya Namaha, we say to Bhagavan. And that means his objective is only Parayana means not just recitation. Parayana means attaining that goal with single focus. And Bhagavan's a single focus, and what does he want to attain is to protect you and me. Whether I look to him or not, he's always caring for me and takes care of me. That even though I don't worship the lotus feet, just like a way a cow, a mother cow, takes care of its calf. The calf doesn't know, but the mother cow takes care of it. Like that, you are taking care of us. You are protecting us, Swami. Okay. Even though worshipping your lotus feet is the most beneficial, but we don't do that. Swami says, Mamekam Sharanam Raja, I don't do that. But Bhagavan doesn't give me up. He still protects me. This is important. Okay. Priyosi me, or Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, you are my darling pet. What he says. Priyosi me priyaha asi. Me priyaha asi. To me, you are, asi means being. You are dear to me. Okay. So, Bhagavan has that assurance. Even though I don't look to him, he doesn't neglect me. He still nourishes, protects us, and cares for me. That does not mean I should not look to him. The moment I look to him, then I know he's always looking at me. Then I live in a different way. Without that, I live like an animal or a beast. That's all. But still, the nourishing, the protecting takes place. Satya Tishaha hi Bhagavan Tava Padapadmam Asi Tatanu Bhajataha Asi Tata Asihi Tata Anubhajataha Purushartha Murtehe Api Evam Arja Bhagavan Paripati Dinane Vasreva Vatsakam Anugraha Katarosmane Anugrahaka Atarosman Satyasisha hi Bhagavan tava padapadnam atihi tat anubhajatah purushartha murtehe api evam arjya Bhagavan paripati dinan vasrev vatsakam anugraha katarosmane. Bhagavan, ye Bhagavan, Purushartha Murtehe, Purusha Artha Murtehe, all the Arthangal, what is the objective of this life, and you are the form of that. You are the one to be attained. That is, whether I make money or get health or whatever I do in life, get married or not married, have children, not have, whatever it may be, what is the final Artham of this life? Artham means what is the meaning, the essence of this life is you. That you are the form of the end goal, the objective of this life. You are the essence. That Purushartha Murtehe, Tava, your Padapadmam, your lotus feet, Anu Bhajataha, people who are always worshipping that, keeping their mind close to it, on it, and worshipping it. Asishaha, though, for those people, Anubhajataha, who are worshipping it very well, for those people, Asishaha Satya Asihi. Asishaha, for all the other desires, all the other rewards, all the other benefits that person may get, this Anubhajataha, Padapadmam Anubhajataha Satya Asihi, worshipping your lotus feet, is actually superior. Superior because it grants more benefits. It grants the ultimate benefit. Evam arte api. Even when the truth is like this, when this is the subject matter, is worshipping Bhagavan's feet, and that gives the maximum benefit, the final I can Purushartham, that means I can reach Bhagavan himself. Evam arte api, even if it is like this, say Bhagavan, you anugraha kataraha. See, your focus, your what we call in Tamil as nokam, objective is to only grant anugraham. That is why sun is always shining. Bhagavan's grace is like that, always shining, always, because without his anugraham, nothing can survive. And his focus is to continuously shower your anugraham only, to take care. Because of that, Bhakta Parayana, even not only Bhakta, even everybody, all the beings, okay, Dina Sakha, Bhagavan is Dina Sakha. And for people, Anatha, people who don't have anybody to take care of them, Bhagavan is the one who takes care of them. So whatever it is, his grace and his focus is to take care of everyone, not only physically, also mentally, slowly purifying our mind, removing the impurities, and then spiritually bringing the mind to himself, and then to the lotus feet so that I can get back home. So Bhagavan, Anugraha Kataraha, that is what you are, Daya Sagara. How is it? How is your love? Vasra Vatsakam. That's cow. That Vasreva. Vasraha is cow. Vasraha Iva. Like, Iva means like. Vasraha, the cow. Vatsakam. Vasraha Iva Vatsakam. The cow, how it cares for its cow. Like the way mother cares for the child also, book feeder. Mother may be busy doing other things, but the moment make sure that the baby is fed, make sure the baby is sleeping well. There's so many things. Attention is always there, isn't it? And the baby doesn't go after the mother. The mother takes care of the baby. The cow comes and takes care of it. Like that, Swami, Bhagavan, you, Anugraha Kataraha, you are taking care of us. And what do? With showering your grace on us. Dinan Asman. Dinan. The support, as we saw, as Dhruva says very beautifully, actually Dhruva is saying this, it's a very powerful word, Dinan. Asman. Asman means us. Dinan. Why the word, use the word Dinan? See, he is after all a prince, born to a king, no dearth of wealth, all kinds of comforts, everything is there. But Dina means actually, doesn't matter what you have, what you don't have. No one in the world can really help you. Only Bhagavan can do that. It's a teaching that he got from his mother. Right? That is what Dina. Dina means without, in this world, people, the Dina is like you and me. We are all Dinas only. Okay? Nobody in the world can really help us and give us peace, really takes care of us. I mean, people do serve and all that. Those are all correct. But the real carer, when, I am being discarded in life, when I am being neglected, when my use is no longer needed, for example, okay, who will take care? Bhagavan is the one. And that is what his mother told him. And he believed. Dhruva had full faith on his mother, so he carried out her instruction without doubt, with tremendous determination. So Asman, Dinan, all these people like us who are really have no one to help in this world, and you are the only one. Because Anugraha Kataraha, because you are Dina Sagara, Karuna Sagara, Daya Sagara. So you are the one, Dinan, Asman Dinan, Paripati. You are the one who are protecting us, Swami. He finally comes to the final point, describing his experience with Bhagavan, his Anubhavam, everything so beautifully. And then he says, Swami, Asma, I surrender to you, he says. From Aham Prapadye, he says. And then he says finally, Asman Dinan, you are from Bhagavan, you Paripati, you are the only one who's protecting us because you are Anugraha Kataraha. You are Anugraham Swami. So, the word Dinan, when Dhruva uses that, it is so powerful. We all sing bhajan, Dina Bandho and all that. No. We got to feel that how only Bhagavan is taking care. Nobody else. Only Bhagavan. And for you, for me, for everybody, there's no difference. No difference at all. And he takes care of each one of us, not only you and me, also the ant that is moving along the edge of the wall that you see in your house, because Bhagavan can hear the footfalls of that ant, as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. Everything he takes care. And Animishtaha, if we say, the beautiful another description for Bhagavan is without blinking his eye. Okay, we're describing Surya Bhagavan. The word is Animishtaha. Is also Sahasranam it comes. That means you and I blink our eyes. But Bhagavan is not like that. Because when I blink the eye, I don't see. Even for that period, Bhagavan does not miss. Always, everywhere, he is seeing and caring and taking care. His Anugraham is present in full, without any obstruction, always, everywhere. That is what, that protection. And he is a Dina Bandho, he is a Dina Natha. And Asmin, Dinan Asmin Dinan, Paripati, you say, Swami, you are the one. Finally he says, I surrender to you. So many ways he worships. And then he says, Asmin Dinan Paripati. Okay. Then, very powerful sloka. Satyatishadhayi Bhagavan Sava Pada Padmam Asihi Tatha Anubhajatah Purusha Murte Api Evam Arya Bhagavan Paripati Dinan Vasreva Vatsakam Anugraha Kataraha Asman Maitreya Uvacha. Now, Dhruva finally he says, Swami, I surrender to you. You are the one who is protecting us. Okay. Maitreya now says, Maitreya Uvacha, Slokam 18, Atha Bishtutah Evam Vai Tat Sankalpena Dhimata Bhrutyanuraktaha Bhagavan Pratinandyah Idam Abravit Atha Bishtutah Evam Vai Tat Sankalpena Dhimata Bhrutyanuraktaha Bhagavan Pratinandyah Idam Abravit. Now, Atha Abhishtutah Evam Vai Satsankalpena Dhimata. Bhruti Anuraktaha Bhagavan Pratinandyah Idam Abravit. Pratinandya Idam Abravit. Atha Abhishtutah Evam Vai Tat Sankalpena Dhimata Bhruti Anuraktaha Bhagavan Pratinandya Idam Abravit. Now, in Tamil colloquial, you all may have heard the phrase Abhishtu. Sometimes we think it's actually a derisive term. No. Abhishtu means being worshipped by. Okay, so the sentences are Sat Sankalpena. Now here, Sat Sankalpam means determination. Okay, Sankalpam means one thought. Okay, one resolution, whatever promise, whatever you want to call it. Sat Sankalpena, with the very determined, most beneficial vow that Sat Sankalpena Dhimata. Dhimata means a person with a good buddhi, that is Durvan. So Satsankalpena Dhimata, by Durvan who has got a good buddhi with determination and undertaking the execution of a very good thought. This is what Sankalpam is. Satsankalpam. Sankalpam means I undertake something. And Satsankalpena means undertake something in the company of Bhagavan. And for that, Dhimata, with determined, good, unwavering, good buddhi, that person, Durvan, by Durvan, Dhimata, means Durvanal. Evam, thus, Abhishtutaha, being worshipped by Abhishtutaha, Evam Abhishtutaha, thus being worshipped by Dhimata, by Durvan. Bhruti Anuraktaha. Bhruti means people who are supported, people like you and me. And Anuraktaha, one who loves you and me. All Bhagavan just does not create and walks away. He creates and also loves his creation. And very different from the children that we all have in life. We produce children and then we take them off, but take care of them for some time, and after some time, they leave their life. They're not able to take care for various reasons, whatever it may be. Bhagavan is not like that. He never gives up. Anurakta always with so much love and attention for all the things that he creates. And one small anecdote I'll share with you. Got 10 minutes. Once I may have shared this with you already. Once in interview room, Swami, as you know, you may know, some of you may know, is creates, manifests so many things, right? And also creates vibhuti and gives people and all that. And so in the interview room, one person asked him, Swami, how come you're always manifesting things that are kind of not lifeless? Okay, whether it is vibhuti or whether it is a gold chain or whether it's a wristwatch or whatever it may be. Why don't you create something that's got life? And they got Swami very smilingly, while he made this comment, Swami was sitting in a chair, so he kind of put his hand very close to the floor and palm very close to the floor, right palm facing the floor, and slowly lifted his palm. And dying from underneath from the ground came a monkey that was dancing around. And then Swami took the monkey, kept it on its lap, and was petting it and patting it and all that. And then he passed it around and took the monkey back. And he said, no, he said we wanted to give the monkey to say, we want to keep the monkey. And everybody, the person who asked him immediately kind of recoiled. No, Swami. And then Swami had said, this is the reason I don't create things with life. Because once you create it, you have to take care of it. Very important. And then, of course, he put his palm on the head of the monkey and pressed towards the ground. The monkey disappeared. The main important thing is, another anecdote also I'll share with you. Once, those days when, the Bangalore, Puttaparthi roads and Hyderabad highway now were not fully developed. And it was kind of an arduous journey going on the side road, on those kind of roads, the conditions that the roads were in. And so once Swami was traveling from Bangalore to Puttaparthi in the car, and there you can see as you approach, those of you who have been there before on the Hyderabad road, and before you take to Puttaparthi side, there's always these rocky areas, very dry and quite rocks and small hills kind of a thing, no vegetation actually. And then Swami pointed out to the person sitting next to him, and he said, look at the top of that hill. And he looked at, what do you see? He said, Swami, I see a plant, a small sapling, a plant is there on top of the hill. And Swami said, who do you think is taking care of that plant? There's really nothing else around. No water, nothing. So, anything that is created, the one that is taking care of it is, as you saw earlier, Anugraha Kataraha. So, that is Vritti Anuraktaha. Because all the things that are, right now the earth is taking care of us, isn't it? And he's the one that the earth is supporting us physically, we all know that. It's also taking care of us, giving us food, giving us shelter, giving us so many things. Think for a second. And when in your body, that's invisibly the support is there, right? Even though the life force, but who's supporting the life force? So like that, Anuraktaha, Vritti means the supported entities. Anuraktaha, one who loves it. So, Satsangalpena Dhimata Evam Abhishtataha, with good buddhi, keeping the buddhi in the company of Bhagavan and carrying out a Satsangalpam with determination, the worship, and thus being worshipped by that person which is Dhruvan, Dhimata, the person with the good buddhi is Dhruvanal, Vritti Anuraktaha, the one Bhagavan who is love is Vritti, all the Janangal, all the beings. Vritti Anuraktaha Bhagavan. Pratinandya. He was so pleased. Nanda means Ananda. Nanda means bliss. And Pratinandya, very lucky. Something that is being reflected based upon what Dhruva did and said. So what did Bhagavan say? Dhruva, I've never seen anything like this. To have somebody so young like you. We saw this earlier when you covered the story very brief in the beginning. So somebody like you, 5-year-old, a small child, unshakable Shraddha and determination and perseverance in spite of all the obstacles that came your way. With this thing, I've never seen anything like this. He was so pleased. And that Pratinandya, Bhagavan was so pleased with what he did. Then he said, Idam Atha, after that, Idam Abravit. He spoke. Bhagavan spoke to him. He expressed his, the one thing I have to do, I have no business to narrate, to say anything about others, is whatever I do, I must do it to please Bhagavan. Will Bhagavan be happy if I do this? Will I be hurting? Will he be displeased? That's a simple yardstick I've got to use. If I say something, do something, or think something, will Bhagavan be happy? Will he be pleased? That's a yardstick I have to use. And then I offer it. Swami, I really don't know. I made a mistake. Whatever it may be. Then slowly, I can begin to do things, only those things that please him. And here Dhruva's saying, Bhagavan was so pleased. Pratinandhya. Then idam abravite. Then he spoke the following words, following things he spoke. Idam, thus he spoke. Maitreya uvacha. Maitreya said, Atha abhishtutaha evam vai tat sankalpena dhimata prati anuraktaha Bhagavan pratinandhya idam abravite. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakrutehe sabhavat karomi yadhyat sakalam parasmai Sriman Narayanaayeti samarpayami. Om Tat Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.